Welcome to AdVice. Today I'm joined by Aidan, our creative director, and Brittany, digital marketing specialist. Today I wanted to talk about something we haven't covered really, which is, we saw the rankings come out and where we're headquartered in Charlotte for top agencies. And there was a lot of movement. There was a lot of folks that were on the list for 10 years leading up to this year that are no longer on the list. And there are a lot of other agencies that were nowhere to be found 3 years ago that are now on the list of top agencies. So tons of movement up and down. And so what do we think is driving that change?
I think, the industry is wild right now. With that being said, it's always been people get one big client, and then that dictates how the business grows.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's happening way more often now. And it may not be just one massive client. It could just be a collection of big clients who are like sizable, but not like, $1 million account.
Yeah.
Because I know a ton of agencies who have that $1 million account, and that has led them to grow in the way they've grown, but all still focused around providing for that main client.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that's what it is realistically. And with how quickly people can move from agency to agency now, because 5 years ago wasn't that easy.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably causing a lot of fluctuation.
That's what I see. I see a lot of movement. You can call it loyalty, and right? If people have an annual contract, then at the end of that year, they have the right to do whatever they want to do. But I see a lot of churn. And I'll admit, like more so even with us than we've seen in the past, but a lot of agency, new accounts from other agencies, and I'll find out they were only with that agency for 6 months or a year. They are not with their current agency for very long when they come on board with us. So I'm seeing it on both sides. I guess that would just indicate across the board, but a lot of movement. I think this year really shook things up with AI.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of clients, a lot of companies moved agencies because they felt like, well, that's just my agency not doing what they need to do. And maybe that wasn't the case.
How do you feel about this?
I am curious if it has more to do with the economy
Mm-hmm.
in the U.S. And also, we know that you have to apply, and maybe they didn't apply as well. Like
Apply for...
the largest companies.
That's true.
Maybe they, like you said, have a lot of turnover, and these new people didn't know that they were supposed to do that. Maybe, like you said earlier, I think AI, between March and August almost, Google has changed drastically, and it's continuing to change.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to keep up. You think you get it figured out, and then all of a sudden the SERP changes again, and you're like, okay, well, let's keep rolling with the punches. And I think that a lot of SEOs were laid off because of AI, and they thought, oh, well, we're going to be able to replace content writers and the SEOs with the AI. Well, that's not how it works. AI is not there yet. It's just not. And so they thought they were going to save some money, and then it ended up that they did not save money. And it, whatever. But then the company doesn't understand that. The clients don't get it. And so what you're saying, they move because they're like, well, they're not doing a good job when they could have been doing a good job, but they weren't explaining it. And I think we've done a good job of explaining it to a lot of our clients, like that things are moving in a weird way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like they hear that all the time.
No, you're probably
And that's
right.
my worry, is that
Yeah.
everyone they know is always telling them that it's crazy out there,
Well, let's call it what it is. In the industry, we've hidden behind this, it's a complex algorithm with over 250 ranking factors, and it's weighted differently, and it changes on a daily basis, sometimes multiple times in a day. I've heard it all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so now, like to your point, the clients heard it all.
Yeah.
That's
and
true.
so this time they're like, okay, Sure.
Yep.
Whatever you say, champ.
No, yeah, you're so right. That's true. And I think it hasn't changed until, for a long time people might have been saying that and it wasn't accurate.
It was changing, but it wasn't like we couldn't get in front of it. We couldn't adjust to it. I mean, there's big changes and there's small changes. And the big changes happen a couple times a year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The small stuff you can adjust for. Normally, if you're doing good white hat SEO, it really shouldn't affect you. Most of the time there's a big update, or an update. But the big updates, we adjust.
Right.
And that's what everybody should have been telling their clients. But for years, the rankings weren't where they were supposed to be. And what would the agency do? They'd say, oh, there was a big algorithm change. Kind of kick that can a little bit. So, I mean, we did it ourselves as an industry.
Yeah.
But I also think, just kind of going back to what you were saying about the economy,
Mm-hmm.
it has not. Listen, the folks up in Washington might say we're not in a recession or things are great, but I don't think it's been a great 6 years. I don't think since 2020 we have been in a time of economic prosperity. And the clients are feeling it, small to large.
Yeah.
They're feeling it, and it's sustained. It's been a while. And yeah, COVID was crazy, and we did all the things we did, but business, it continues to be difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember what it was like in 2016, 2017. It was great. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure there's, ebbs and flows, but it's been kind of a downturn for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I think until we see some kind of movement there, it's going to continue to be tough for agency, because what do companies do when times are tough? They cut their marketing.
Right.
And that includes the agency.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't invest into true creative. We talked earlier, a different show about websites and investing into websites. Well, nobody wants to do the investment. They just need something to get them by. And everybody's just kicking their own can, trying to get by. But they're not really investing like they would want to if there was a little bit more, I guess, consumer confidence and business confidence. So I definitely think that's having an impact.
I think the value should change.
Mm-hmm.
I think labeling yourself as a marketing agency might be too narrow. Especially I think people are going to start looking at what big companies are doing and how they're getting through with having such small marketing teams.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not by some of them do use marketing agencies, but typically they're extremely large, right? The ones in the middle, I'm specifically thinking engineering for whatever reason, use consulting firms, use business solutions, which realistically ends up being just someone to come in and shore up all your marketing, make sure all your systems are working, which is what we do.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that connotation also changes the stigma that people have with marketing and advertising agencies being burned in the past, and then also allows us to take credit for a little bit more than just the marketing.
I see that as kind of a double-edged sword. I definitely agree with what you're saying. I feel the pressure on my side to do more than just the marketing than I ever did before.
Yeah.
And the clients are looking to us going, hey, you're my marketing agency, but why doesn't this back-end system integrate and talk to this other system? Well, 10 years ago, we'd be like, oh, we don't do that. We just do your advertising.
Mm-hmm.
And now you almost have to jump in on the operations side and fix problems for their business. And that's not really historically what a marketing agency has done.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why we're doing well versus a lot of these companies that have really faltered in the last year or two, which is that's making us different. Whereas the traditional marketing only, advertising only agency is having a tough time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Branding agencies as well.
I immediately thought the clients who come to us for leads, we send them leads, and they're like, help me with sales.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the Glenn Ross situation. Like, the leads are crap.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like, you need to sell them.
you just got 80 qualified leads. What would you do with them this month? Well,
Right.
Looked at them.
yeah.
Right. Looked at them.
We didn't call half of them. Sorry.
Oh, or I called them. They didn't pick up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they probably filled out a bunch of forms, and somebody else called them more than once.
But it gets to me because I'm like, well, who is in charge of sales at this organization that is thumbing their nose at these leads? we've talked about that on other shows, like
Yeah.
the marketing and sales relationship.
Right.
If one is not strong, it's going to be a tough time. But
100%.
I mean, at some point, you as a business owner or as a director of sales have to take some ownership on that side of things. And yeah, if the leads are weak or they're spam or they're not great, that's a whole different situation. But if you're getting interested parties that come to your website or call in and you're not closing, do something different.
Yeah.
They're going to keep blaming us.
That's how it works.
That's been since like
For
100 years ago when
Yeah.
that book was written. Marketing and sales were yelling at each other.
Yeah. No,
True.
always a thing. For
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, I think people are more wanting conversions and they don't understand what that means. Like they don't understand what that means on our end, getting them conversions, because sometimes it is creative.
It's business success.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't just drive conversions to drive conversions
Right.
without everything else.
Like, where's the strategy in getting the conversions? How do you think we get there?
Well, we're way more involved in the entire buyer journey than we used to be.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We used to just be top of the funnel, get the leads through, and then let sales sort it out. Now we're doing remarketing and we're doing automated follow-ups and building out collateral and trying to make sure that the client has the right proposal deck and they have the right media kit and they have all those stuff that they need to close the business, which used to not be as important, I guess, as it is now.
Mhm.
But even automated follow-ups, you're doing work like that
Yeah.
it happens post-sale. So it's completely removed from any kind of ROAS or ROI conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But it's impacting the business. But on our reports, how do you report on that?
You can't.
So the client has to understand either that there's value there that is not reported, or there has to be some kind of mechanism to see what kind of impact that's having.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess for me, like, where is the line for marketing and advertising versus just supporting someone's business as a whole? I mean, there's a lot of gray area, but how do you explain that to someone?
Well, and how do you explain that? Okay, maybe that line has moved, or maybe there is no line anymore. Maybe we
Yeah.
go as far as we can, but then whatever your historic marketing budget has been, this exceeds that,
Exactly.
right? You've got to then allow us to come in and make these changes and build these systems out, build these reports out, but then you have to be willing to invest on that side of it too.
Mhm.
And I'm not seeing the right combination of that. I'm seeing the expectation be that we're going to do what we've always done on the advertising side, but now we need you to do more and more and more and more after the lead comes through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
That should be the difference.
Mhm.
We should be managing their marketing budget. That
Right.
sounds crazy, but
But
Sorry.
no, like actually,
Aidan lives
though.
in this world where people just,
give me money.
yeah, just
But actually, though.
spoken like a true creative director.
But actually, though,
Uh,
we to be able to do all of this stuff. I'm sorry to say, you have to spend money. We don't work for free.
that is how I think of the advertising budgets that we get. It's like when people ask me, how much should I spend on advertising? But you should spend this on your ads.
Mm,
But you got to pay us also.
right.
And that should
Well,
come through
and
business.
yeah, you've got marketing, you've got advertising, which is a piece of marketing, but not
Yeah.
the entire spectrum.
Right.
Yeah.
So you need a marketing budget, you need an advertising budget, but you also need that gray area between marketing, sales, and operations.
Mhm.
And if the marketing agency is not doing it, because historically they haven't, who is? Like, who's in charge of that? Is that a sales director? Is that a consulting firm? There needs to be something in place there. The larger businesses probably can solve for that. The smaller businesses are just very lost, in my opinion, on that front.
100%.
Yeah.
And I'd venture to say most of the time it's a business owner or a salesperson taking the call. And if they miss the call or if they don't follow up on that email, that's it.
Mhm.
And they just keep putting money into the top of the funnel on the marketing side and just keep getting those leads to come through. And they really should focus more on closing
Yeah.
what is already coming through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I just think in general right now, but the same thing that's affecting companies is affecting consumers. So it's a tough time. It's harder to close business.
Yeah.
Whether that's dog training or career coaching or plumbing or whatever it may be, people are more hesitant to just
Right.
blindly, agree to something. They're pinching pennies and rightfully so.
And it's like, you have to think too, okay, if your call to action is a form, right? They're not only filling out your form. They're going to all the top 3, top 5 people that they landed on in search, and they're going to fill out all of those forms because they're
Companies,
looking for the
yeah.
best price, right?
Mhm.
They're, like you said, pinching pennies. So if you get there first and you can say, okay, like yes, we might be a little bit more expensive than this person, but, and like let if there's a sales team, if they can sell it, then they land it.
Mhm.
But it's like, if you don't go after them, somebody else is going to. The market is saturated.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be on top of it.
That's really true. The market is just across the board, every industry.
Every
Mhm.
industry.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you are a niche company, which there's not a whole lot of that anymore. Everybody wants to do everything. They want to put their fingers in everything, which I get. You make more money that way.
Folks instantly have options, and now they're able to ask more sophisticated questions and become more educated before they ever get on the phone with you.
Mm-hmm.
I see that with the folks that come to us, but I also see that with our clients.
Mm-hmm.
People do their homework.
They do.
So it's not an easy sell anymore. You have to really make sure you articulate the value. You're being compared against your competitors.
Like, what makes you unique? Why should I go with you?
You know how many times we ask that during the sales process, and the prospect at that point doesn't know
100%.
the answer?
100%.
It is 90%.
No, 100%. I mean, like, literally, I get it.
I would say the other 10% are like price, or something
Yeah.
random. Yeah.
And price should not be it.
Exactly. I agree.
Price should absolutely not be it, because if you're the cheapest, then you're going to get the cheapest.
Yeah. And then doing work to drive the leads for that, you have a smaller margin to work with. It makes everyone's life a lot harder.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But even back to the differentiators.
Yeah.
We are family owned is not a differentiator.
No.
Mm.
Oh my God, no. It's not.
And you would be surprised, especially on the service business. I think e-com usually knows what their differentiators are.
Yeah.
Because they got a product. But on the service side, it's we can do the job. We're licensed, bonded, and insured. So is everybody. We're family owned. So is most of your competition. But even if they're not, I don't think people are valuing that so much. Maybe sometimes. But is that it? Is there is there no other reason why a company would work with you?
Right.
And I think that's something that the company leadership needs to figure out,
Mm-hmm.
especially before you invest a lot of money in advertising.
Agreed.
Take an hour and figure it out. What's different? Why would you want to hire us instead of our competition? That used to be, I feel like, a lot more solid than it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I don't know what's driving that, but
It's easy to start a business. It's not easy to keep the business going.
And I think there's a big push just for people to start businesses in
Yeah,
general. instead
work
of
for
working.
themselves.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
want to work for themselves. They don't want to like have a team because they don't want to pay the team. They want to have all of the things on themselves, or
Yeah.
they can't afford to pay the team yet. But then if you don't have a team, then you are
you're
stuck in a
doing
cycle,
Yeah.
and then you can't get the leads, and then it's just a bad cycle.
Yeah.
You have to have a leader.
That is true. I don't know. It's a weird market right now.
It is really weird.
That's
It's
what I
just-
would say.
Yeah, it's very saturated.
well, I think this clearly articulates how weird the market is right now and how agencies are having to adjust.
Mhm.
Any last closing comments, thoughts?
We're amazing, and no one else can do what we do.
Well, with that, we'll close it out. Everybody, if you're still here, thank you for watching. Be sure to like, share, follow, comment, all that good stuff, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.